Hi there, in this video today we're going to be looking at section 12.2 part D in your notes, which is using the cosine rule to calculate a missing angle this time. Okay, so just like the sine rule, how the sine rule can help us work out a missing side or a missing angle, we can use the cosine rule to do also the same thing. So we've seen in the previous video how a cosine rule can be used to find a missing side. What we've got here is an adaptation of the cosine rule, where if it's written slightly different, it can help us work out what the missing angle is in the triangle. Okay. The important thing to know though is in order to find an angle using the cosine rule, we must know all the three sides of the triangle first. Okay, so it's a very specific case where if we want to know the angle and we have all three sides of the triangle known to us, we can use the cosine rule to do that. So I'm just going to draw your attention to what the new cosine rule is. Okay, it's actually the same rule as what you've done for missing side. If you rearranged it in order to find an angle though, it would look like this here. Okay, so cos of the angle would be b squared plus c squared minus a squared, all divided by 2 lots of bc. So you can see it's very similar to the cosine rule for a missing side. Okay, that formula is also given to you in the exam written like that, so you don't need to remember it. However, we do need to make sure we know how to use it. So we're going to look at two examples to show you how this works here. Okay, so starting off with the first example, we're going to find the size of angle x in this triangle. Okay, so the first step is that I always show you is to label your triangles. So here you'll see I don't have any letters labelled, so I can create my own letters. So I'm going to call the angle down at XA. Then I'm going to have at the top left, I'm going to have B up there, and I'm going to have C at the top right. Okay, so to continue labeling, I need to find my lengths now. So opposite angle A is small length A, opposite angle B is small length B, opposite angle C is small length C. Okay, so that's me got my angles, and I am now able to and my lengths labelled, I am now able to go towards the formula. So the formula is written as cos of A equals b squared plus c squared minus a squared, all divided by 2 lots of b times c. Okay, I'm now going to substitute my values in. So cos of A, even though I don't know what the angle is at A, I'm going to label that as x, okay, because it's asked me to find the angle x. B squared, that's going to be 20 squared, plus c squared, which is 18 squared. Careful to note, minus a squared, okay, they're not all additions at the top, okay, we've got to take away a squared, which is 26 squared, and all that's going to be divided by 2 times b, which is 20, times c, which is 18. Okay, so doing that into your calculator, now make use of the fraction button on your calculator. If you don't know how to use that properly, what to do is find the answer for the top, then divide your answer by multiplying 2 times 20 times 18, okay, so that you're not doing it all in one go. Okay, if you do it properly, you should hopefully get the answer as cos x equals 0.0666 dot. Okay, so that's what you get in your calculator if you do it properly. Now again, this is not my angle x, this is cos of x, so we need to get rid of that cos, and a bit like the sine rule for an angle, in order to get our angle out, then it's going to be the cos inverse this time, because it's a cos question, to get our angle, so it's going to be the cos inverse of 0.0666. Again, don't round this bit here, because we want to get our angle as exact as we can, and the cos inverse of that is 86.177 dot. If we round that to 2 decimal places, 86.17, and we get degrees for us as an angle. Okay, so that's how the cosine rule works. Okay, again, the calculator does a lot of work for you. The key bit is, in order to get this right, is setting up your question properly and getting the angle. Okay, so we're going to look at the second question now. So we've been given our labeling for our angles, which is helpful, and our job is to calculate the size of angle PQR. So PQR, that means I go to P, so I start at P, go to Q, up to R, so it's the angle that creates, so it's going to be in the middle letter, which is Q. I'm going to call that X as well. Okay, so I'm going to find out angle X in there. I'm going to finish by labeling off my triangle, so Q is going to be opposite angle Q, P is going to be opposite angle P, and small r is going to be opposite angle R. So I know all three sides. I can use the cosine rule to do this. So I'm going to write the cosine rule using a, b's and c's just so I've got it written down properly. So it's going to be b squared plus c squared minus a squared, all divided by 2 lots of bc. However, I want to do this for my triangle, which is p, q's and r's. My angle is at q, so that's the one I'm interested in. So it'll be cos of q, and that's going to equal, well, that means it's going to be the other two lengths squared added together. So it's going to be p squared plus r squared minus the length of q squared, all divided by 2 times p times r. Okay, so I've just swapped the a, b and c for q, p and r there in my formula. I'm now ready to put my numbers in. So p squared is going to be 15 squared plus 12 squared minus 10 squared, all divided by 2 times p, which is 15, times by r, which is 12. Okay, and if you get your answer to that, you should hopefully get the answer 0.7472, and it goes on. Okay, again, don't round at this point. So we want to work out q, so it's going to be cos of inverse cos of our answer, 0.7472, dot dot dot, and if you do the inverse cos of that, you get 41.6496, dot dot dot, which equals 41.65 degrees. Okay, so that is the answer to that question. Okay, that's what the angle at Q is that we labelled X earlier. Okay, so you notice I haven't actually wrote X here, so this would be X here, or you can call it the angle at PQR. Okay, in fact what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change that, so I'm going to write X there to make it fit my question a bit better. That was my apologies there. Okay folks, so I've labelled the X in the diagram, so I should have called it X when I changed my values in. Okay folks, so have a look at those two examples, copy them down, and then begin your exercises once you've copied them down. Thank you.